were all able to join the Mentimeters. There is a 50% limit per month, but I think we can exceed this limit once per month. So we are perfectly fine normally. I will go to the presentation back, sorry. Okay, normally you're seeing the presentation with the instructions to join. You can join at any time using the vote code at menti.com, which will be displayed on every slide. Sorry. Up. So yeah, as Wouter mentioned, sorry, I should have went to this slide first. So we are on an ELViS workshop session, and you got my contact email if you wanna you have any remarks after the workshop, or if you wanna add anything. ELViS@DiSSCo.eu. So the agenda of today's meeting is that first we will do a quick introduction, which will last, I think, 10 minutes. Then we will do a demo on the requester side of ELViS. So you will be able to see the tool, but just from the requester side, which will be followed by an interactive session. So I will ask you questions about what you've seen and what are your feedbacks on what you've seen. Then I will do a demo on the collection manager side, which is the most important part of the tool, of course. And then this will be followed again by another interactive session with questions about the tool. And then we will have, for the remaining of the time, we will have discussions about ELViS. So feel free to jump in chat, preferably, because we are 81. Thank you for coming. We are 81, so feel free to ask questions in the chat. We will try to answer them during the meeting, and there is still more people joining. So this is really annoying. Yeah, I muted the. So normally you are able to all fill in the participant list that I've sent in the chat. Please don't forget to do so that we will be able to know what countries were represented and what kind of staff were represented. I think we can send it again in the chat for those who weren't there when it was sent. Selma will be doing that. Thank you, Selma, a lot. So introducing ELViS. So ELViS stands for, if you didn't know, European Loans and Visits System. It's DiSSCo's portal to access natural history collection across all Europe. The aims of ELViS are to have one unified interface, which would reduce communication overhead and improve efficiency for researchers and collection manager. The second aim is that both researchers and institutions can monitor the status of a specimen. Also, ELViS will eventually support fair digital object. Thus, this will enable traceability of specimen, request, and of course citation, which is a really important part of what ELViS will be doing. And the last aim, but not least, is to provide metrics to demonstrate the collection's impact and the user demand across all Europe. So yet, emanation created a demonstrator, which basically covers 95% of the functionalities and which is still evolving. But this is not supporting multi-institutionalization. So the only institution that is attached to ELViS yet is emanation. So you can do requests, you can try the tool, but the request won't be processed yet. So it's already available at elvis.dissco.eu. You can already try it, and you can already create account. You can already send, if you want to have admin account, you can send me an email. Of course, I can create you one. And so the current step, as Wouter mentioned, is to gather feedback to move forward, because we aim to know what we need to change in the tool, because of course this was made by emanation, and this was made by emanation adapting a local tool. So this is like emanation, a bit of an emanation tool. So we need to know what you're really needing for and what we need to change to achieve the institution across all Europe to adopt the tool in the near future. So just before diving in the tool, I need to explain one core concept of ELViS, which is the concept of request, project, and needs. So in ELViS, you can create a request, and the request will contain one project. There will be an example just after, so it will be more clear, I think. So one request will contain one project. So it will be, for instance, one scientific project. And each project contains, yes?
Maybe it's good to share your screen so that I don't know if everybody's on Menti, so then they can see the presentation.
Oh, normally I'm already sharing my screen. I don't know if it's working.
No.
Sorry.
I can see your.
For us, it was working perfectly. So.
Okay.
Yes, for me too, it's working.
Okay, thank you. So I've just done it again in case there were some problem. So normally you're seeing my screen again.
Yeah, we can see it.
Thank you. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, so every ELViS request contains a project, for instance, a scientific project, and then this project can contain any numbers of needs which concern any numbers of collections. I've called them collection set. And then this collection can be like dispatch, which will be done on the collection manager side, to any sub-collection set. So for instance, if I were to do a taxonomic revision, if my project would be to make a taxonomic revision of the marine specimens of the Corsican coast, I could add any kind of need I would need to regarding my project. So for instance, my first need will be that I would like to come to see marine specimens from the collection. So this will be a need of visit. And then this need could concern the collection set vertebrate and invertebrate, for instance. I could also add a secondary need, which will be to loan some specimen from the herbaria. So this will be sent to Botanic and Herbaria. And then the last need that I could ask is for a sampling on Amsterdam's albatrosses. And this will be sent to Amsterdam collection set for vertebrates. And of course, every need can be managed differently. So if Amsterdam refused the request of sampling for any reason, the whole project is not cancelled. And like, for instance, Paris could accept to loan some herbaria. So now, yeah, want to try ELViS. If you want to try ELViS, you can already create an account, as we already mentioned. And if you want to test the tool fully, you can request for an admin account at elvis@dissco.eu, and I will create you one on the collection set that you want. And you can also, we are setting up a user group, which will be a more closed user group for the evolutions of ELViS. So you can, I don't know, Selma, if you can send the link in the chat. Yes, thank you very much. So Selma will send the link of the form to request to join the user group. So this user group will meet twice remotely and once in Paris by the autumn. We limited the number of people in this user group to 8 people. So I will have to refuse some people, but this is just to make sure that every institution, every kind of institution and country is represented as much as we can, but we are limited. We are limited with our budget to welcome people in Paris by the autumn. So that's it. And now to the demonstration. I will share my screen once again, showing you ELViS normally. Oh my God, we are on EduRoam. Sorry, I need to switch my internet because for a reason that I don't understand, ELViS is not working if I use EduRoam. I've already told my IT team about that, so I will be right back, sorry. Okay, sorry. Normally you can hear me. I will share my screen. This is not working. Really sorry about these technical issues. Sometimes we are making it harder than it's supposed to be. Can everyone see my screen and hear me?
Yes. Yes, we see.
Okay,
Yes.
Thank you very much. Sorry again. So we are on ELVis's welcome page. So you are seeing a basic welcome page, which is European collections at your fingertips. So with a basic explanation of what the tool can do and the service that it provides. So the service are the kind of needs that people can request. So they can request sampling, loan, visit, imaging, and observation. Observation are for botanical gardens. So you can see that the tool is actually a demonstrator, so the request won't be processed yet. we can also already go to DiSSCo's website and to the European specimen database. You can access to the European collection. So I will just quickly log in with my account. And I will go to the applicant space. So if you have an admin account, you will see that you have an applicant space, which is the normal access that the requester will have, and also an agent space that I will show in the second part of the workshop. So I will now create a project. So I will now specify my project type. So I can choose between scientific study, exhibition, educational, artistic creation, and a film-related project. Of course, this kind of projects are specific to emanation, and we might just keep the scientific study of research project for the first time of ELViS, because this is the important one, of course. So then I will specify my applicant profile. So I am a scientific staff, an amateur, an elementary or high school teacher, an artist, etc. And the next forms will adapt regarding what I've chosen there. So then I need to choose my collection set. Of course, you need to reminder that we've only set up ELViS with emanations collection set. So if I were to multi-institutionalize ELViS, we will have a secondary step, which will be to choose, for instance, the institution that I want to learn, etc. But this is the thing that we need to address, the question that we need to address. So I will choose, for instance, the Herbarium Botany and Earth and Universe collection set. So my request will concern these two collection sets. And then I will say, okay, this is the title of my project. I want to do research on mosses, for instance. Sorry if my English is not really good, so I'm making mistakes. And then I need to choose my scientific disciplines, and these are adapted regarding the collection set that I choose. So for instance, you can see archaeobotany, biogeography, cosmochemistry, etc. And the method of study are also adapted from the collection set that I choose. So for instance, 3D imaging and grain size analyzing. And then I will be able to describe my project. I will say that this is a fantastic project, so that the collection manager will be able to accept or deny my request regarding what I've described. And I can also, just in case, I can also drop documents presenting my project. If I already have a PDF presenting my project, this is a possibility. So I can drag and drop files here. I won't do that, but this is working. I can then, and this is a really important thing, ask for the specimen or item involved in my project. So I can either type the catalog number, and here the important thing is that we are already connected to DiSSCover. So we are already connected to the digital specimen infrastructure. So you are already able to ask for DOIs, for DiSSCo's DOI. So for instance, if I were to type test, yeah, there is this specimen. So Papillohelenius lineaeus. And if I go to the pre-production of environments, normally you're still seeing. Est-ce qu'on pourrait toujours la bonne finesse? DiSSCover. Okay, so you're normally seeing DiSSCover, and if I were to type this DOI into DiSSCover, I would normally find in a few seconds, yeah, the specimen that I just found in ELViS. So we are already connected to the digital specimen infrastructure. This was really an important step, so that every e-service that DiSSCo provides is connected to the central infrastructure. So in case the specimen that I want to request are not digitized yet, I can also describe them. So say, okay, I want Herbarium Botany specimen. I want from I want bryophytes. I think this is the correct spelling. I want bryophyte from a specific taxonomic order. And if I don't know the taxon, so the order, family, genus, and or species, I can also describe the specimen, for instance, from the Alpine garden at MNHN. So that the collection manager will be able to see, okay, in that kind of specimen, the specimen is not digitized yet, so we can still fetch the specimen. So I've selected all the specimens that I'm needing regarding my request. I can say next, and then I can, as mentioned earlier, I can add as many requirements as I want regarding my project. So for instance, I would add a loan requirement. So I want to borrow collections, and for for each kind of need, I need to specify the collection set relevant to my requirements. So for my loan requirement, I will just ask for herbarium botany specimens, and for instance, the bryophytes. And then there is collections term and agreement. So each collection can have specific terms and agreements. So this is emanation ones, but in the future, we can imagine that every one of DiSSCo of ELViS member can send to us its specific terms and conditions, and we can adapt the terms and conditions to the specific collection. So for instance, here for the herbarium botany at emanation is 1 request per person and per project, and etc. And of course, there is always the general terms and conditions, which is the long one that no one's read. So we try to avoid that, creating a simple list. And of course, also the privacy policy, which is not created yet, but this is planned. So next I will say, okay, I need this need for tomorrow, because of course I'm really pressed. And I can also submit my references. So for instance, my curriculum vitae, my list of publication, in order to facilitate the review of my application. So this is just to show the collection manager that I'm a serious requester. And then I can add another requirement. For instance, I can ask for a sample, and I will ask for a sample of Earth and Universe collection set of this specimen, for instance. And there is also the terms, etc. I need to accept them, to read them. That's basically the same process, but because I asked for a sampling, there is a different kinds of questions. So I'm flexible regarding the date. I need to specify the scientific purpose of the sampling, because sampling are more, we need more details regarding the sampling, because of course they are destructive. So I need to details my scientific purpose. I need to ask for the type of sample I would like to produce. I'm not a specialist of sampling, so sorry if I don't fill the form really nicely. So I need to specify what kind of analysis I need to perform, and so I will write again DNA, but of course this is not DNA, and the quantity of mice, 1 microgram, for instance. And I can specify if I would like to do the sampling myself or not. And if I want to use the institution equipment, I will say no. And the reference of my future study. And of course, I can also send my references here. So let's say I have asked for everything I needed, but I forgot to add a specific set of collection. I can always go back. I can always modify anything. I can always save my project as a draft and come back to it later. But let's say everything's filled correctly. I can go to the next phase, and which is basically the contact information. So you can just check my personal information, especially my address if I need to loan some specimen, because of course the specimen needs to arrive somewhere. So I can edit everything. And then there is the summary of the request. So this is the time to check if everything's correct and everything's good. And then I can submit my project. So this will be submitted, and I will receive the notification by email indicating that the request was correctly sent. And the collection manager will also receive one indicating that a requirement was sent to him. So I can see on my dashboard my current project. So this is the project I just submitted with a sampling and a loan need. And so that's it for the applicant space. I will now go back to my Mentimeter. Normally, this will be working perfectly. Of course, I need to start again, sorry. Normally, you've seen the Mentimeter. So there is another time the instruction in case because we will be doing a interactive session. So in case you didn't join yet. So the first question is, what are the first 3 words that comes to your mind after reading after this demo? You can just write anything you want to say. This is just to know the feelings and the impressions that the tool gives you. Is that working for everyone, or? Oh, sorry. Oh, wow. Emojis? Okay. I didn't expect that. Okay, 22 players ready. Ah, okay. Sorry, that's the first time. Then. Oh yeah, there is no points, but Mentimeters wants me to add points. Is it working? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Ah, okay, sorry. This is working now, sorry. So complete, adequate, user-friendly, simple, good-friendly, useful. Oh, wow. And no, like, there is no nice UI. Thank you. I will say that to my French colleague. They will be really glad to hear that. You can also say bad things, of course. The tool is not perfect. So taxonomy, exciting, clear, friendly. Okay, we'll leave you some time too. Tu prendras des captures, s'il te plaît. On sait jamais, normalement ça se regarde. I will leave you a few times to potentially useful. Okay, seems long. Yeah, it's long. Yeah, I can definitely relate with that. The tool is really complex. It's because we want to improve the traceability of specimen. But yeah, this is a remark that we need to try to make it as simple for everyone as possible. And I think it's a bit complicated at the moment. So many data together, user-friendly content. Okay. Fun. Okay, but the main word is useful, so that's nice to see. We didn't work for nothing. Interesting. Okay, I will. Oh, sorry, some people are still answering. Okay, I will jump into the next slide. All of the results will be kept, and after this session, I will try to summarize everything and send to every one of the participants the resume of the workshop. So don't forget to fill in the participant list, so I will be able to send it to you. So yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. So the next question is, what should be the priority? So I need to explain this question first, because I'm not sure if you're familiar with shot in the dark request and fair digital objects. So shot in the dark kind of requests are kind of requests like, I'm a researcher, I want to do a taxonomic review on Heteropteras, and I'm sending a request like, okay, I want to see all of the species of this specific Heteroptera in Europe, and so this is like a shot in the dark. So you try to send to every museum the request to see if there is some museum that you did not accept that have collection of Heteropteras, for instance. So this is shot in the dark, and fair digital objects are like for specimen and publication tracing. So it's like we will transform ELViS's request into fair digital objects. So they will be assigned the DOI like every one of the specimen into DiSSCo. And so if you do a request, you will be able to cite your request and thus all of the specimen that the request contains using a DOI. I don't know if it's clear, but I think yes, because everyone is saying fair digital objects. Okay, I will leave you sometimes. Je crois qu'on a une limite de 50, mais normalement on peut la passer une fois par mois.
42 personnes.
Ok. S'il n'y a pas 50, c'est bon. Dans le chat, ça va?
Il n'y a pas de problème.
Ok, super. Merci. Okay, so it's about fair digital objects. I will keep it in my mind. Thank you. So on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being really complex, do you think completing a request is really easy? So it's 1, and too hard, so it's 10. And of course there is.
Qui demande, I don't understand fact digital object completely. Can you give an example?
Yeah, if you want an example of fair digital object, So I've made a request on ELViS. So in my request, there is a lot of information. As you can see, there is my name, there is the name, there is my name, there is my institution, there is the collection set that I requested, there is the institution that I requested, there is my kind of need, etc. So there is basically all of the data regarding a request will be encapsulated into an object which will be assigned the DOI. So when you cite this DOI, people will be able to click on the DOI and see, okay, these people made a request about specimens from the National Museum of Natural History in France, from Naturalis in the Netherlands, from Schenkenberg in Germany, etc. And you'll be able to see, okay, he loans this kind of specimen, he did that kind of research, he asked for digitization of this specimen, etc. So you'll be basically able to see all of the information regarding a request and all of the specimen that the request concerns. So you will be able, the people will be able to cite not the specimen, but the request, and the request will contain all of the information. So I'm seeing 2.8. So I don't know if that's clear enough, but you can send me an email after the workshop and I can explain it to you with like schemas and text. This will maybe become more clearer. Sorry. So you think that's yes?
Maxime, there are a few questions in the chats. Maybe.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm not seeing the chat yet, but I will go back to the chat. Sorry. Okay, so. Oh yeah, there is a lot of questions. Date format. Is there a control vocabulary? Control vocabulary about what? Like, can you explain what your?
I think it's in the last question. It's.
Oh yeah, the format of date. That's a good remark. I will write it down. Yeah, you're right, because this is a French date format, and of course we will need to change that. You're right. And sorry about the control vocabulary. I don't really understand, but. So thanks for answering on so the tool is not too complex for you. Okay. So is there any points blocking your adoption of ELViS? So is there any lacking excess feature? Is there any specific workflow, type of need, roles that you need us to adjust? And of course, this is just regarding the requester side. We will have the same question on the collection manager side after.
Is it possible to be in an approved list of requesters so we can fill in some data only once, and if known, go directly to the loan and specimens part?
Oh, sorry, there is more questions in the chat. I will look after them. Is it possible to be in an approved list of requesters so we can fill in some data only once, and if known, go directly to the loan and specimen part? Yeah, that's a good question. Not yet, but this can be a planned functionality to add, because we've discussed that with Voucher. We discussed that we can link to like ORCID, and that we've discussed with Voucher, sorry, that requester will be required to have an ORCID account to make requests in ELViS. So they will be pre-approved requester because they have an ORCID account set up. But as for the pre-filled list, when you create an account, you need to specify a lot of information, but you only need to specify them once. So I don't know if that answers the question, but sometimes people want to, for instance, loan and sample. Is this possible? Yes, that's what I've tried to show. They can, on a specific project, they can ask for like a loan regarding a specific collection set, and also a sample regarding a specific collection set. And of course, they can ask for like herbarium loan and also visits to herbarium. Can you add a list of specimens you want to study? Yes, this is a planned functionality. Normally, this will be developed in the near future. Yeah, so yes, you will be able to add a specific list of specimens because yeah, we don't want to type like 50 specimens in the field. And thanks, Volunteer, for explaining it better than me, for explaining a digital object better than me. Okay, so point blocking your adoption of ELViS, workflow for undigitized specimen. Undigitized specimen are already in the tool because you can like describe the specimen that you want to request. And so even if they are not digitized yet, the collection manager can try to look after them if the requester has described them enough. So normally there is already a workflow for that. Approved list of requesters. So yes, it's a planned functionality. Many requests to be processed on lack of time. Yes, I think when you will see the collection manager side, I hope that you will see that this will make you gain time. Maybe this will seem a bit complicated on the first view, but trust me, when you're used to the request process, this is really a gain of time. Additional request type, data request is follow-up possible in the system, loan returns. Yes, the loan return I will demonstrate the loan return in the collection manager demonstration. Usage report generated per collection in the system. They will have a functionality of report and stats in ELViS normally by the end of the year. Sorry, manage request more efficiency, okay. We have to adjust our standard and policy, okay. Capacity to action request. Looking at the tool that Herbarium Paris uses, not user-friendly. Are you talking about Muse or are you talking about the code helper tool which was cancelled recently? Because I'm afraid this will be the same, okay? I will go in the chat. Code helper good, Muse not user-friendly. Ah, okay, you're not liking Muse. Yeah, ELViS is based on Muse. So I can understand that you're saying Muse is not user-friendly because, how to say that? Muse try to improve the specimen traceability. Thus, this requires more information from the requester. And so, yeah, this can seem really complicated and not really user-friendly. But Muse is still under development, and so it will evolve a lot, and ELViS will evolve with Muse because they are like they share the same code, and so the tool will be more user-friendly when the times advance because we are still gathering feedback, we are still developing, we are still adding functionality. So hopefully Muse and thus ELViS will be simplified in the future. But I can understand that you're saying Muse is not user-friendly because CodeHelper was really simple. But the problem with CodeHelper is that we've lost track of so many specimens, and so that's why Muse is more complicated. Yes, there is pre-filled document. Yes, if there is pre-filled document regarding Nagoya. Yes, Frank. I will show that in the collection manager side. Collection connection with internal database. Is it already operational? You can already go to elvis.DiSSCo.eu, so it's operational, but the request won't be processed yet, as mentioned, because this is only connected to emanations database. So that's the next phase. We need to try to connect it to other institutions. And connection to local collection and loans database. We won't provide local connection to local database and to local collections because we aim to connect only to the digital specimen infrastructure so that the digital specimen infrastructure provides the data for every European institution that wants to use ELViS. This will be a requirement if people want to join ELViS. Okay, I will move into the next questions. Thanks for all your remarks, by the way. This will really help us tremendously. So anything to add before we move on to the collection manager side? Oh, there is a lot of questions in the chat, sorry.
La question de la flexibilité des requêtes, est-ce que tu peux, par exemple, dans le cas où tu as tu veux prendre un sample, mais tu te rends compte après que tu veux en prendre d'autres. Est-ce que tu peux modifier ta requête?
Yes, you can edit your request in ELViS. I have seen the question by Georgia. Yes, Georgia, you can, after you've submitted the request, you can edit it. And also the collection manager can also edit the request so that, like, for instance, if you forget to add a specimen or something like that, you can always like go back to your request and edit it.
Gabi demandait si possible d'uploader une liste de numéros de catalogue pour que, ou est-ce qu'il faut de rentrer une par une.
About Gabi Droege question, sorry if I'm about my pronunciation of your name. It's not possible yet to upload a list of catalog number, but yes, this will be possible. This is like on the next sprints, we want to add that functionality. Yes, this is really important. We know that.
Il y a Roxelle qui ce serait très utile si on peut ajouter des documents à la requête.
You can normally add documents to the request already in ELViS. You can add when you submit your project, you can add documents regarding your project, and you can after that add documents regarding not your project, but regarding your background, for instance, or the project that you're in, to show the museum or the institution that you are like a good requester, in quote.
C'est la question de Roxelle, si tu veux.
Yes, that was for Roxalie. So, a little break, and also for me. For those who didn't join the Menti, you can join the Menti right now. So we will have a 2 or 3 minutes breaks just for me to take back my breath and to like prepare the next phases of the demonstration. And you can already read the core concept of the collection manager side, which are the 3 roles. I will be back in 2 minutes. So I will just answer I'm right back here because I'm seeing a lot of questions and I want to try to answer them as best as I can. So I think the best thing is that we keep questions for the last phases, because to be honest, I didn't expect so much questions during the workshop and so much people, but thanks again for joining in. That's really, yeah, this is really nice to see that ELViS is waited for so long, and so I'm glad of that. So I will just answer the 2 last questions that came, and the questions will be kept for the last part of the workshop, so we will be able to advance and to make it move smoothly. So I will add my camera once. So about George, sorry. Question, does the communication after the request was sent, so response, further question, etc., run within ELViS? Yes, within ELViS, there is a chat implemented. So both the requester is able to contact directly the collection manager regarding its request in ELViS chat, and also the collection manager are have also a chat within the application. The aim is that every information regarding a request is centralized into the application, and that there is no like emails and calls and things going on outside of the application, so that we keep traceability of the specimen. So yes, there is a chat, and I will show that in the request in the collection manager side. And about Patricia Mergen question, is there a competitive call for synthesis and formal ELViS? And can the system handle it too? Or should we have done this independently in another platform and link the loans or visiting your system? So about the call, we did not implement call functionality in ELViS yet because we needed to prioritize things, and seeing that I'm calling it the old ELViS, so synthesis ELViS, was hardly managing this kind of request and seeing also that there is no money for calls at the moment given by the European Commission. We've prioritized all the stuff, so there is no calls in ELViS yet. But if we see that there is a real need for it, we'll try to add them, but not in the near future, unfortunately. The tool is good for routine work. This was missing in the former tool, but there's their call in refunding. No, there is no call. So yeah, the next question, I will answer them in the last phase. So let's move on to the collection manager side. So first of all, the core concept, once again. So the current roles. So there is 3 roles in ELViS, which are roles that are assigned to the collection manager. And of course, collection manager can have multiple roles. So for instance, you can be a dispatcher and also a decision maker. You can be a decision maker and also a preparer, etc. So the dispatcher is the one that receives the request and that will then allocate the specimen to the correct collection, so the correct sub-collection. For instance, if my requester made a request on the herbarium, I will have some institution as a person managing the loans for specifically the bryophytes. And so this person will manage this request and say, okay, this kind of request is for my sub-collection bryophyte, and you will dispatch them to the collection. And then the dispatcher will send the collection to the decision maker, which will receive the request and analyze the relevance of the project with regards to the request and give what we call the agreement in principle. So it will say, okay, I think this project is scientifically correct. I will accept it on a scientific basis. And the decision maker will then transfer the request to the preparer, which will give its feasibility approval. So it will go into the collection and say, okay, this specimen, I am able to loan it because it's in good shape, because it's not, etc. So it will give the feasibility approval. It will then prepare the specimen to meet the requirements, and it will also monitor the returns and the publication returns. And every one of the 3 roles can communicate with the requester. So there is a chat, as already mentioned, discuss the request with internal colleagues. So there is a chat for collection manager. They are also able to leave a comment or a note regarding the requirement. They are able to, of course, refuse the request with a mandatory reason, or to cancel it if, for instance, the requester wants his requirements to be cancelled for any reason. This is different from refusing. And the request is only closed once the specimen has been returned, if they were alone, by the preparer. And there is also an admin role. So for each collection set, there is an admin that can basically do everything. And there is also a super admin that can, do more things. I will show you that. Yes, and so you can also, of course, be a dispatcher, decision maker, and preparer. They can be mixed. Yeah, you can basically do whatever you want with the rules. So another demo, ELViS on the collection manager side. This will be a bigger demo because there is much more thing to see. Normally, you're seeing my screen once again. Yes, okay, thank you. So I will go to my agent space, and I will see that, oh, I got a request for Earth and Universe and Herbarium Botany. So my role in the application here, I am the super admin of the application, so I can basically do everything for every collection. But normally I would need to have a specific account. But here, just for the demo purpose, I will have the 3 roles just in one account. You can see that the super admin can see all of the projects in the application. But if you're just, for instance, a dispatcher, you will see a different dashboard which will contain new request, undergoing request, canceled request, closed request. So you will have a different dashboard. This is just because I'm super admin. The super admin can also manage the institution in the tool. I will show that right after, and users also. So for instance, I can say, okay, voter is no longer dispatcher for this specific kind of collection set, but I won't do that, voter, don't worry. You are still administrator. And so I will go on this project 25. I want to do researches on mouses. So I can see every details on the project, the name of I can see every details, and then I can see the 2 requirements. And the application is saying, okay, you need to assign the specimen collection. So I will just do the loan request just to show you it once. So you can see that I can contact the applicant. So I can say, hi, can you send me more details? And once I've sent this email, the requester will receive this chat message, sorry. The requester will receive an email indicating that he has a new message in ELViS and that he needs to answer in the chat. And I can do the same with my colleagues. And so I can also, I think, I can poke them, like saying, for instance, I want to ask voucher something. And so this message will be directly sent to voucher, I think. Of course, demo. Sorry. Oh, no, sorry. So yeah, this message was specifically sent to Wouter. So Wouter has received a message in the app, and no other collection manager has received this message. I can also view the documents. So there is no documents yet because the applicant did not send any documents, but there will be in the near future, as you will see. So let's imagine that I'm the dispatcher of this request. I will say, okay, this request concerns me. I will assign me on this request. And so I need then to manage this request. First of all, I need to assign specimen to collection. So in case the requester made a mistake and the request was not assigned to the correct collection set, I can send it to my colleague. So here, let's say this is the correct collection set. So I will say, okay, I will assign it to herbarium botany collection set. Then I need, as already mentioned, to assign the collections. So for instance, okay, I think it's a bryophyte request, so I will send it to my bryophyte colleague. And then you're seeing that the request has moved to dispatch, so I need to transfer the requirement, and I will transfer it to Maxime Griveau, which is also a decision maker. And I can also transfer it to Wouter and to as many people as I would like. So I will transfer it just to Maxime Griveau for this demo. I can also transfer it to a group of people. For instance, if I want to transfer it to everyone in the botany collection set, I can do so. So I've transferred it to Maxime Griveau, which is the decision maker. Let's imagine I'm another Maxime Griveau connected to the decision maker account. And so I need to go back to the requirements detail, the specimen, to the project page, the details and everything. And I can also ask questions to the applicant to see if the request can be agreed in principle. So let's imagine yes. So I've agreed in principle, I'm the decision maker. And then I need to transfer the request to the last role, which is the preparator. So I will say, okay, I will send it to Maxime Griveau, which is also, how lucky are we, the preparer. And so I've transferred it to Maxime Griveau, the preparer. He's seeing that he needs to prepare the requirements. He can also contact the applicant, and he can also see the message that was sent before. He can also, as requested, edit the requirements. So say, okay, I want to edit this specific requirement, so the date is not the correct one, etc. So I need to prepare it, and the preparation goes in 4 steps. So first of all, I need to edit the packing list. So I can say, okay, he requested bryophyte. I can add specimen using their catalog number also. For instance, I can add Yes, a Lepidoptera. Oh yes, great. A Lepidoptera. A Lepidoptera, and you can see that it was added by me. I can also describe specimen, for instance, if I were to say all of the specimen from the collection, blah, blah, blah. So just for my archiving, I can say, okay, I've learned of the specimen, but I don't want to fill them one by one. So I will move on. And of course, the requester will be informed during all of the process with emails. I will show them right after. So here I need to specify which specimens are needed for return. Because it's a loan requirement, all of the specimens are required for return. There is no, we cannot say, okay, the specimen doesn't need to return. But if it was sampling requirement, I could have say, okay, this specimen does not need to return. So I could like untick these checkboxes. But here I cannot. So then I'm on my, I can give my feasibility agreement. I'm like, okay, I'm on the collection shelves and I can definitely loan the specimen. So I can give my feasibility agreement. And so this has been sent to the applicant. And I think because I'm the applicant, I can already show you that, yeah, my request has been accepted and there is a lot of emails going on because I've created new project, etc. So I gave my feasibility agreement and then I can ask for a specific return date. And of course, the requester will have reminders by email of him needing to return the specimen. And then there is pre-filled document. And I'm really proud to show that because this was an immense work from our development team. So there is a pre-filled loan sheet, a pre-filled packing list, a pre-filled recipient label, a pre-filled pro forma invoice, a pre-filled custom exception certificate. So for Nagoya, custom, oh, this is not in English, sorry. A custom free package label, the fragile parcel label. So I will just show you the loan sheet. This has not been like ELViS eyes. So you will see that the MNHN logos and stuff, but this is the same. So you can see that the tool generates a loan sheet for Braille files. And normally, if I did this correctly, Word will open in a few seconds. And I think I need to share my other screen, right? Yeah. So I will share my whole screen. Normally, you will be seeing Word in a few seconds. I hope so. Yes, this is working. Normally, everyone can see my Word, my Word document. Yes? Okay, great. So you can see that this is pre-filled with the collection and sub-collection name. This is pre-filled with the address of the requester. So this is a fake, not a fake address, but this is DiSSCo, not DiSSCo, but this is naturalist address. And this is the address of this is my address, so the address of Muséum National d'Histoire Naturelle. I can then fill the information that the institution could not fill, so my name, for instance. I can add other file number if I add local file number, but the tool, this is name used locally, but this is ELViS. The tool provides already a file number, but if I add a local file number, I can add it. There is a pre-filled loan form with like a pre-filled text. I can then select the nature of the exchange. Sorry. So I can select if it was a loan, a sending, etc. The return date was already filled. The packing list is already prepared with the inventory numbers and etc. Sorry. And you can see that also, so this is the only specimen that is like digitized. So it's in this kind of list, and the specimen that are not digitized yet, you can see that this is the specimen that I recently added is also present. So there is a total of 3 specimens, and there is basically everything done for you. So hop, I will close this. Normally you can see all this. So I need then to re-upload this loan sheet once it was filled, and the tool will say, okay, this was required. I can now move on to the next phases. I won't show all of the document, but you can see that there is a template for everything. The packing list is just, well, a packing list. And that's it. And you can also add other documents. For instance, if you add practical sheets or anything like that. I can then finalize preparation. So imagine that I'm like, because this is a loan requirement, I'm with my parcel, I added all of the documents in it. And then I can confirm that I've sent the specimen, but I can also view all of the documents. So the label for the fluid package label, the fluid partial label were already added. The customs exception, practical sheet, the loan sheet for Bryophyte, the packing list were already added by default. So the requester will be able to have them. I can then confirm that I've sent the specimen. The requester will have a notification, of course. So this was sent successfully. And now let's say 3 or 4 months has passed and the parcel came back to me. I can then analyze the return. So I can say, okay, here is my packing list. There is also a scan mode, but I won't detail that. I can say that, okay, this specimen was partially returned, not returned, etc. So we will say that it was partially returned and that all of the other specimens were returned in good shape. And then I can leave a comment about the return. For instance, I can add a DOI for the publication if they were sent. We aim to improve that part of the return because we want to improve citation tracking. So we want to have a more practical tool to manage citation. For instance, we want to have reminders 1 or 2 years after the request to ask the researcher for his publications, and the researcher will have a notification, etc. So we want to improve that part. So I can indicate whether or not I have received the publication from the study. And then there is the summary. So there is no missing specimen, there is no damaged specimen, but there is a partially returned one. There is specimens returned in good condition. There is publication, my comment. And so I cannot close the return yet because this is not complete. So I need to, because the specimen were partially returned, I need to say, okay, they were returned in good shape. And then I can close this requirement. Because all of the specimens were sent back, I can close the requirement.
Des questions. Quelqu'un qui demande de revoir the applicant, how to send the applicant the MTA for signature.
Okay, I'm seeing some questions in the chat regarding the demo, so I will go back to them. Thanks a lot, Selma. So, what are the questions? I missed off to send the applicant the MTA. Oh, MTA? Sorry. Missing, no, terms and agreement? I'm sorry, I don't know what's MTA. Maybe material transfer agreement. Yeah, this was in the pre-filled documents, and so I can show you. So this is in the documents that were sent by the institution. So this is name, loan sheet, and packing list. In the loan sheet, there is the specific things that you're asking for. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I don't remember the name. So if I were to go in my applicant space, I could go to the documents and say, okay, the document that were sent regarding the loan, yes, this is working. Whew, sorry, I was a bit scared. So you can go here and see the documents and sign them. And of course, you can imagine that there is like a chat discussion that the museum is asking the people to sign the document and send it back, etc. Or some institution likes to send them like by paper, so that you can also print them and send them with the specimen, or you can basically do whatever you want with the templates, but of course they will be always there, and the requester can re-upload them with its signatures. So another question, sorry, the chat is not really practical sometimes. Okay, is there a possibility to add backup or secondary requester? Is there a possibility to add a backup or secondary requester to loan sampling, which is permanent? Yes, definitely. This is a really important thing for us. So I didn't show the inscription. inscription d'un utilisateur. The sign-in process, but in the sign-in process, you have to add what we called, sorry, I forgot the name, what we call a referent, which is basically a permanent staff which is responsible for the request in case the primary requester has a problem or is leaving the institution, so that we won't lose track of the request. Yes, so this is already in the tool. I have a question about the price of a potential request. If I assume that requests are free of charge in general, most museums, but all requests that require fee managed at the Museum of London, so you have to pay to access the collection. Okay, yes, in the Natural Museum of Paris, in the Natural History of Museum of Paris, there is also some kind of requests that are requiring a fee, for instance, 3D digitization, but they are not managing the tool. So this will be like, for instance, another document that can be added by the team that managing the request, asking for money, but we don't aim to manage we won't be a platform for like managing the transaction. Yes, thank you, Selma. When I send message through the app, I will get a copy of the message via email. I can define. Oh, I got it. So you won't get a copy of the message by email. You will get a notification that you've sent a message by email, but you won't get the copy of the email. The email will be kept into the application. And no, you cannot add a secondary email in the app, but this can be a thing that we could change, because I can really understand that this can be helpful for some museums. So we will write it down, and maybe this will be a thing that we will add in the future. We will add it to the backlog. Can you just download the request only and then produce your own institute documentation using their own collection management? Yeah, that's a good question about downloading the request. I don't have answers to that yet, because we need to discuss on a strategical track on what kind of tool we want to provide. For instance, if we would provide a software as a service product, I don't think this will be a possibility, but if we would to provide this is a step that we need to discuss, the ability to download requests. Will standardized national and international form will be developed to accompany and facilitate the sending? I would love to have standardized international forms to accompany the sending a loan package. There is not yet, but I would love to have that, because the thing that I want to avoid the most in ELViS is to develop a custom features for each institution, because you can see that we are a lot of people in DiSSCo. And so I would like to avoid as much as possible to develop custom features. So if we could have standardized national and international forms, I think this would help a lot. So this can be like a track of work that we could try to set up in the future. Yes. There is no more questions. Okay, thanks for all of your questions. I will go back to the presentation. Normally, I need to present it once again. Yes. So I will go back to the presentation. Sorry, it's a bit of a dense workshop, but we want to have as much feedback as possible. So is there any points blocking the adoption of ELViS? That's the same question as the first, but this is on the collection manager side. So if there are any points blocking the adoption of ELViS on the collection manager side, sorry. I'm not seeing any answers yet. Is the Mentimeters working, or is there a problem? Sorry. Oh, I'm seeing 3 people. Okay, you're coming back to the Mentimeter. Yeah, sorry, it's a lot of switching in and out between ELViS, Mentimeter, Word, etc. Can't add a comment. Oh, really?
Ah ouais, il y a un bug.
Oh. Mince. You cannot supply an answer to this question. Okay. I will just try to present the Menti again. Oh, but there is answer to the next question. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I think we will be able to.
Tu reviens à la question précédente.
Ouais, je suis d'accord avec toi. Oh, okay. I think this is working now, right?
Ouais.
Perfect. Sorry, really. I'm really sorry about it's a bit of a mess, but.
Ah non, là, t'es revenu avec le nom. En fait, c'est quand tu cliques, ça bug. Là, je peux plus non plus, je peux plus écrire de.
Okay, I think this question is not working. I'm sorry. You can always send me emails and about this specific question. I'm really sorry. I will try to, at the end of the workshop, I will try to relaunch it just to see if you can add answer to it. Really sorry. So the next question was, and there is already answers. The next question was, which feature is the least useful for you? So 0 being not really useful and at all, and 10 being crucial. So the chat with the requester, my colleague and other institution is crucial for you. The publication management, so it's really important. Pre-filled document is crucial. The role of the decision maker, okay. Some people think it's not that much useful. On peut répondre là. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing answers. Oof. So redirecting requests to colleagues in other institutions, for example, this is partially important. The ability to add specimen using a barcode device. Okay, this will be hard to develop, but yes. Vous avez vu, les numéros d'inventaire, c'est jamais les mêmes. Il y a 1, 3, c'est très bizarre. Ah oui, 6,9. I will leave you 2 minutes to answer this question because there is a lot of things to manage here. You cannot see the answers. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I cannot, unfortunately, I cannot change that as I got a free version of Menti Matches. But just to inform you, the chat with the requester is really crucial for a lot of institutions. The publication management is really important, but it's 6.4.
Il faut que tu partages ton écran.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I will share my screen back. My fault, totally my fault. Yeah. Sorry. Normally you are able to see the results. No, and it's not a Mentimeter problem. It's a Maxime problem.
Thank you.
Okay, I will close this question at 11:18. 18, yeah, 18. Not 18. I will take this time. So I'm seeing tendencies here. Okay, it's 11:80. No, I will close this question for now. And I will move on to the next one. Just I will try the previous one. Maybe is this question working now or is still not working? No. No, okay. Yeah, maybe I messed up something. So what do you need the most, Ned, then? A translation to your own language, to your local language, a calls management, the calls management. So the question, that was the question in the chat. If you're a national node, would you like to be a dispatcher for your own country, or is it too complicated for you? Would you like to have simplified workflows, for instance, to be able to skip some part of the workflow? If you are, for instance, a smaller institution, and if you don't want the decision maker role, you can skip this role, for instance. Would you like to have customizable workflows? Would you need information about the facilities and service provided by each institution and the collection held? Ça marche? Okay, this is working great. I will leave until 11:22. Les gens, ces gens sont efficaces. T'embête pas, du coup. Okay. Okay, it's 11:22. Thanks for all of your answers. We can see that the customizable workflows are really important, simplified ones, of course. So this is about the workflows. And so, yeah, thank you. I won't react to that, but thank you. Sorry. Oh yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, this is the last phase, is the free discussion. So I didn't expect that many people, but I think you can ask questions in the chat and I will try to answer them, and we will keep them for later, etc. I will just stop sharing my screen because seeing the chat is not really interesting. So The last question, is it possible to export request data somehow to create for instance, sorry, annual reports or many requests? Yes. So we aim to develop that functionalities by the end of 2024. No, 2025, sorry. So this will be possible. Yes, we know that it's really important. We prioritize other things because we needed to release Muse, so the local version of ELViS, but this will be developed, of course. I am really looking forward to see how your project will go on in the next years. Can you eventually set up a newsletter, or is there one where I can subscribe? Well, to be fair, I'm alone. I'm alone working on ELViS right now because DiSSCo transition is end and we don't have the staff locally at Emanation to pay people to basically manage ELViS. So I'm working on ELViS for a tiny part of my current job at Emanation. So setting up a newsletter won't be easy. I'm trying to see if there is a way to like making a quick information update thing. Okay, I will. I'm not saying that I won't do that. I'm not saying that I will do, but I will try to wonder if I can do something like a quick update on ELViS project, kind of newsletter. But that's a good idea. You're right. People need updates on the project. What is the timeline to open the system to other collection? That's another good question. The timeline is the quick answer. I don't know. Long answer, I think we won't be able to do that before 2026 or 7. For your information, we are in France. We are on a bit of a budget cut down, so we are not really having a lot of money, as you may have heard. So we are not able to like add more money than we already had in ELViS in the near future, and we first. And the more important reason is that we first want to gather feedback, to discuss on the strategic side about ELViS, because we don't want to like release a tool that no one will use. So that I don't really know the timeline, to be honest. But yeah, we are still moving, we are still advancing, we are still developing things. So that's my answer. Possibility for connection with our institution CMS. No, there won't be a possibility for connection with your local CMS. I'm really sorry about that, because we aim to be connected only to DiSSCo's infrastructure because we want to reduce dependencies with local CMSs. To be fair, we cannot do that because this will cost a lot of money. This will be too complicated for us. Updates will also be shared through the DiSSCo communication channel. Yes, you're right, Wouter. Thank you. Is it possible to add internal notes to a request within the app? Yes, there is a comment possibility for internal notes. And what about partnerships between institutions? So, for instance, if someone wants to request a specimen from the National Museum of Natural History in Paris and also in Berlin, for instance, that's your question, Mario? No, for having more money. Yeah, that's one of the things. Well, the current phase of ELViS is that we have two tracks. We have the functional track, in which we are currently organizing workshops and stuff, and there is also a strategic track. And in this strategic track, we will ask this kind of question about the money question will be raised, and yeah, that's a thing that we will try to do. Selma, can you write this thing? Yeah, because this is really important for me. But yeah, if you want to give money to the Emanation, yeah. No, I'm kidding, of course. Because one of the main question, which was the plan, is there any point blocking your adoption of ELViS yet on the collection manager side? Because this question did not work on Menti, so if you can answer quickly in the chat, this will help us, and we will try to or centralize the answers. Ah, that's a good, yeah, Walter is raising a really nice, good question. Could the decision maker be a committee, for example, if there is a destructive request? Originally, we planned to have like a committee for sampling requests, yes, we called it a sampling committee. We did not add that in use because it was really complex. And I think we've unprioritized it, but if a lot of people are requesting it for ELViS, we can maybe add that just for ELViS. But yeah, if some people would like to have the functionality that Jennifer is describing, can you just like her comment just so that I can see if there is more people that would like this specific functionality? Another program tool apart from CMS's email inboxes, etc. Yeah, connecting to local email inboxes. Well, the application will send a lot of email, but the application will not receive the email. So of course, this will be connected to your local email. So this will send in the correct email inboxes, but not for the CMSs. Yes. Duplication of work. Yeah, that's right. We still need to manage load and sampling with our CMS. Using ELViS could mean we are doing this twice. Yeah, that's one of the things we need to discuss on the strategic track. Is that even locally, we've developed a local tool, but if we move to ELViS, that means the local tool will be shut down. I don't have an answer to that, but that's a question that we will raise in the near future with the strategic track. Okay, there is just one like for the decision maker being a committee. Merci, Selma. Désolé. And I'm raising voters' questions again in the chat, just because I really would like to have an answer about that, because this would help us discussing on the strategic track. And maybe if we see that a lot of institutions are willing to pay, maybe we can move on a bit faster. We can try to say, okay, if we have follow-up and if we have support on the tool, we can move on. And yeah, because this is really this is partially a money issue though. So yeah, if some institutions are willing to pay, of course, this will help us. Okay. Is there any more questions before I close the workshop? Thanks, Patricia. I'm trying. It's really hot in Paris and I'm in sweat, to be honest. Sorry if it was a bit like confusing, and yeah, I'm trying my very best, but thanks for it. Thanks. That's really kind. And feel free to send me emails. I will write the email address in the chat. I will try to. And yeah, test the tool, try things, try to break it, etc. If you see a bug, just send me an email. Yeah. Don't thank you. Really thank you. try it out on this DiSSCo team. Yeah. Thank you. That's really kind. Okay, I will leave until 11:35, and if there is no any more questions until at this time, I will close the workshop. Again, thanks for coming. I was not expecting this much people, but that's really that's showing that can help me show to the decision-making people at Emanation that ELViS is well supported and ELViS is well requested by other institutions. So maybe we can, yeah, this will help a lot. So thanks a lot for coming. There will be a link to recording after. I will send the record to Jose Alonso from the DiSSCo team, and he will upload it on YouTube. And I will also send a report on this specific workshop, including the answer that were given, the number of participants, etc. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. I will close the workshop. Again, thank you for coming. Have a nice day and enjoy summer. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.